leads us into next week's card. We got some good announcements. I mean, we're seeing almost the whole Inner Circle in a Inner Circle Tag Team Challenge three-way match. This is the first triple threat
Yeah.
match we've seen. It's kind of, a tag team triple threat, but it features everybody in the Inner Circle except Wardlow, which we talked about earlier. It's kind of interesting. I think maybe he'll have some kind of swerve in there, which we're hoping for, because we're very high on Wardlow. But on paper, I honestly
What's your
think Jericho and MJF will take the W on this. I think they have
That's
to.
what I was gonna ask you. Who comes out on top? Who's your money on?
Yeah,
Jericho and
Jericho
MJF?
MJF. I think somehow um, there's some distraction between the other four guys, and then they kind of like weasel their way in true heel fashion and take a victory. Not a true clean finish. It's kind of a weasel finish by Jericho and MJF. And then you start to get some turmoil, and you see Santana and Ortiz and Sammy start to get pissed off because they kind of screwed him over in like a cheat to
I
win
could see
fashion.
that. I could see
Yeah,
that. My heart's with Santana and Ortiz. I'm not betting against Proud and Powerful. I'm
right.
not doing it. I love those guys. Obviously Jericho and MJF. I mean, if that ends up actually being a tag team, God, can you imagine the character work that those guys will
I
have
know.
in their feuds? That one's going to be interesting. I see where you're going with that. Certainly could lead to some more tension if MJF and Jericho come out on top. Why not?
Right.
Dude, you and I were talking about TH2 and how we thought that maybe they might get kind of pushed to the side
Right.
after we saw them kind of unceremoniously lose to the Young Bucks and SCU. I am so happy to know that we were wrong because I love seeing Dirtbag Jack Evans. I love it. Cannot wait to see this one. Hangman Page joining the Dark Order,
I hope
teaming
so.
up with
I hope he
his
does.
guys in the Dark Order against TH2 and the Chaos Project. So TH2 is kind of getting bounced around, teaming up with a bunch of randoms, and the Acclaimed last time we saw them, and now the Chaos Project. I don't see Jack Evans and my guy Jack Evans, unfortunately, coming out on top in this one.
Right.
But certainly will be an interesting matchup, and it'll be fun to watch Page with Dark Order next week.
Yeah, and I hope that we do get an official join by Hangman. That would be fun for them to see him join the Dark Order officially. But
Yep.
the next match, Top Flight and Matt Sydal, oh my gosh, and Hardy Party, these are six guys that could really do some incredible, innovative things in the ring that this could very well steal the show in terms of high flying action. I mean, you put a veteran like Seidel with some green guys like Top
Oh
Flight,
man,
that's a perfect pairing. And we talked
what a
about them being.
pairing!
This is just going
What
to
a
be
pairing!
such I think it's going to be a show stealing match, fast paced, high flying, innovative. Trio moves from both teams, and I can't wait for this one. I think just on paper, I'm a huge John Silver fan, huge Inner Circle fan, but in terms of in-ring action, I think this one I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I know that Matt Seidel has certainly got you buzzing. You put him in the ring with Top Flight, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited
I
for that
agree.
one. Really into that. I think that's going to be great. The Miro update, I've been advocating patience with the wrestling community. I've been trying to preach patience with Miro. I think that it's a slow build with him, and I can't wait to see what Miro has in store for Chuck Taylor on his first week of being his butler, his young boy, whatever you want to say. I like that we're going to see an update next week. Cannot wait. I know that Miro is incredibly entertaining. He's a very creative person, so I'm sure he's going to come up with all sorts of new ways to make Chuck Taylor's life a hell.
Oh
So that
yeah,
should
that's for
definitely
sure.
be fun.
Yeah,
But
we
speaking of hell, wow, that next match.
this will be a good one. I know Nyla Rose is definitely much bigger than Layla Hirsch, but Layla Hirsch, last time we saw her in the ring, she really impressed us. She's got some great groundwork, and she's got some really great strength with her suplexes. But finally, we're getting to see Nyla Rose back in the ring, and I think it'll be a hard fought match. But Nyla ultimately will just lay down the hammer and finish her pretty easily. But Layla will put up a good fight for a while, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting one, SPD, because I mean Layla certainly hasn't been built as a main contender. Certainly not like Nyla. Um, and the size disparity between those two. I
Right.
mean, we talked about that size disparity in the main event from tonight. That's an even bigger one. Nyla versus Layla Hirsch. I think that's a huge size disparity there. Nyla is definitely um, in need. I think in need of being rebuilt a little bit. If
Right.
they are,
For
if
sure.
they look at Nyla, yeah, I mean, if they look at Nyla as part of this core, um, she hasn't really had a lot of momentum behind her for quite some time now. So I think that'll be interesting. Personally, I would love to see an upset. I would love to see Layla get the win on this one. I think Layla, although we talked about she's short, no doubt, can't hold that against
And
her.
she's tough as nails.
Man, is she tough, dude. I mean, I know that been some people pushing for her to potentially be another member of Team Taz if they want to add a female to that roster.
I like
What
it.
a fit! She'd be a great fit because she brings that nasty, tough, chip on your shoulder type of mentality to everything she does. I think that's going to be an interesting match. And then speaking of chip on your shoulder, I mean, there's
Oof.
nobody in the world who does that, who has a bigger one than John Moxley. Perennially pissed off. Certainly has a lot to be upset about, and we can't. I don't know who he's going to get his hands on, but whoever it is, I don't envy that spot whatsoever. I think Moxley's going to be bringing the pain next week, brother.
That's for sure. That'll be nice to see him back in the ring. And we're excited for another week of Dynamite next week.